Great. We'll move on to your presenter today. Please join me in welcoming your presenter, Sandy Huffman Hansen, Distinguished Toastmaster. She is currently a member of the Miami Advanced Toastmasters and is an assistant Division E Director in Program Quality. She is a 7-year Toastmaster veteran and has served as Vice President of Membership and Vice President of Education. Sandy has successfully led 2 clubs to President's Distinguished as a club coach. Always an educator, Sandy's specialty is teaching clubs how to plan and execute productive club meetings that inspire attendance and retention. Please help me welcome to the virtual lectern, Distinguished Toastmaster Sandy Huffman Hansen, presenting Road to Distinction, the Importance of DCP Goals.
Thank you so much, Douglas. And good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm so pleased that you all have joined me in this session today. I want to start off with a little story time. So once upon a time, long ago, in a land far away, a land called Texas, I was a brand new baby Toastmaster. And frequently, sometimes every meeting for a stretch, and then sometimes it would be every other meeting, the very seasoned Toastmaster who led our club, his name was Don Tungate, he would stand up and start talking about this thing called the DCP. The DCP this, the DCP that. And being a brand new baby Toastmaster, I didn't really know what he was talking about. And frankly, I was a little bit annoyed because I wanted to spend more time doing table topics, or why couldn't we have a third speaker? Why do we have to listen to all this talk about the DCP? Well, as I spent more time in Toastmasters, I began to pick up on things and understand what the Distinguished Club Program, the DCP, was all about. And then I became an officer and I joined the executive committee. And then as I was responsible for helping to strategize about how to meet the goals of the Distinguished Club Program, then I really took ownership and became responsible and wanted to talk more about the DCP and to know how things worked. So I want to encourage all of you who might be brand new baby Toastmasters to give yourself time to grow and to learn about the DCP. It's a very important program. So let's move on and talk about why it's so important. The Distinguished Club Program acts as the structure of accountability for Toastmasters clubs. And coupled with the moments of truth, it provides a standardized Toastmasters experience for all members and guests. With the Distinguished Club Program, if we are following the goals, we are giving our guests and our members the experience that they heard about when they first heard about Toastmasters. We're giving them what we advertise. So it's very important that individual clubs do take note of what the Distinguished Club Program goals are and track their progress and try to do their best to offer that. When we do that, we are providing what our club's mission is, which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater confidence and personal growth. People come to Toastmasters for that personal growth. If we are not concerned with the educational goals, if we're not concerned with getting new members and we're comfortable with what we have, we don't do the administrative tasks and we don't bother to get trained as leaders and as club officers, then we're not following Toastmasters. We are basically a conversation club, maybe. So we need to keep track of what we're doing so that we can provide Toastmaster members and guests what they're coming to us for. So what I want to do now is just give you a broad overview of what the Distinguished Club Program is, and then we'll get into the details in just a moment. The Distinguished Club Program is a year-long affair. It runs from July 1st through June 30th of the next year. There are 10 goals, and there's the component or the 10 goals are broken down into 4 different components: educational, training, administrative, and membership. There is a manual that you can download from Toastmasters.org that will tell you everything that you need to know about it and how to implement the goals. You can find a report on Toastmasters.org. It's updated daily, so they say, and it will let you know where your club is as far as what you've achieved. There are 3 different levels to the Distinguished Club program. There's the Distinguished level, which you get when you reach 5 goals. There's the Select Distinguished level, which is what you are awarded when you have accomplished 7 goals. And then the President's Distinguished Award is what you get when you've reached 9 goals with your club. Now, that's all if you have met the qualifying requirement, which is you have to have 20 members, or you have to have your base membership number plus 5, a growth of 5 over the course of the year. So they take your membership number on June 30th or actually July 1st, I guess, and then you're supposed to have 5 more than that. Also, your club must be in good standing in order to participate. So now let's get more into the details. As I said, the 4 components are education, membership, training, and administration. I think I must have skipped over a slide. Oops, something's out of order and I'm thrown off just a little bit. Okay, we're going to pretend this one actually says education. Somehow it looks like it got deleted, and I apologize. But what I'm going to do now is talk about the rationale for each of the different components of the Distinguished Club program. The reason educational goals are included in the Distinguished Club program is because it shows that you are providing educational opportunities for your club members and that they are progressing through the program. If you aren't reaching the goals of the Distinguished Club program, that indicates that maybe your club isn't onboarding your members. Maybe you're not telling them about the Pathways program. Maybe you're not encouraging them to give speeches from the Pathways program. Maybe they don't know how to follow through and submit their awards. So there's all kinds of troubleshooting you can do if a club is not fulfilling the goals of the educational program. And so the rationale behind it is to have the goals so that we know that members are getting what they came to Toastmasters for, which is the educational program and learning how to be a better public speaker.
Good morning.
Slide.
Good morning. I do apologize for interrupting this session, but I am trying to get on the secretary program, but I am not able to get on. Can somebody please drop the session inside the chat so that I can go into that room, please?
My apologies, Sandy, and to our good member. The next session for officer's role will be at 12 noon. We will post the information in the chat right before Sandy is dismissed.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tiffany. Okay, membership. The rationale behind having a goal for membership is that we want to encourage new members. We want to encourage dual members. These are members in 2 or more clubs. And we want to encourage reinstating members to join, because everyone's experience is enhanced when we have enough people in our club to do the jobs, to come to the meetings. We have a lot of meeting roles that we have to fill every week. And it makes for a better meeting when we don't have one person doing 3 roles and when we're not having to scramble. So we want to have enough people. We also want to have enough people to take turns at the officer roles. These are sometimes challenging and can be time consuming. So we want to be able to circle through those roles, to cycle through those roles and not have one person do the same thing all the time, or not have, people feel burdened by doing too much. So we want to have enough members to do that. There's also the matter of attrition. They say that we can expect about a 40% turnover every year. So we're going to have to constantly bring in new members. Now, if our ideal level for Toastmasters membership is 20 people, 40% of that would be 8 new members per year. So we're going to talk about the details of the membership goal later, but we need to be bringing in at least 8 new people per year. More if your club is on the low side of membership. Okay, what is the rationale for training? Why is training one of the goals? This is because when officers are trained, like you're doing today, when you come to training, now you know what you're supposed to be doing. You're not just like flailing around in the dark and unsure of what you're supposed to do. You've come to training, you've been given the resources and materials, and you know how to serve and support your club. So that is why training is so important. Also, you come to training and you get to, especially in person, but even right here in the virtual setting, you get to meet up with the other people who are doing your role. And maybe you meet someone and you can contact them and kind of become partners as you learn this role or do this role. And then finally, we have the administration goal. And the reason for this one is that when we submit our dues on time and when we turn in our officer list on time, it just helps the club run more smoothly, and it benefits the members because we've done what we're supposed to do to be a club in good standing and to be well functioning. And it's kind of like the baseline bare minimum. Okay, we've got that done. Now we can go on and reach new heights, reach higher heights. Let's talk about the specifics of each goal now. This is what you'll see on the Distinguished Club Report, and I'm going to show you one of those in just a moment. But for now, let's talk about what you have to do to earn points. The educational goals, there are 6 of them that you can reach. Now, the thing is, you don't have to go in order. You don't have to have 4 level 1 awards achieved before you can get credit for the level 4 or level 5 or DTM award. These are freestanding independent. But you can get a point for 4 level 1s. You can get a point if you have 2 level 2s. Then you can add 2 more level 2s as well. You get a point if you have 2 level 3 awards achieved, and then another point for 1 level 4 or a level 5 or a DTM. And then again, you can repeat that one and have 1 more level 4, level 5 or DTM award achieved. If you're not sure what this means, we will be answering questions later, so send it to Doug in the chat and we'll get to it. Now for the educational goals, the key player here is the Vice President of Education. This person is going to be tracking progress. They're going to be encouraging members. They're also going to be signing off on the level completions on Basecamp, which is the program on Toastmasters.org where you submit where you take your lessons and you submit the level completions. So the VPE is the key person here. They will be doing most of this, but they are not the only person. The president and secretary can also submit level completions. And really, let's just all celebrate each other. Let's all encourage each other. Let's try to keep up with each other's accomplishments and where we might be and what we're striving for next. The VPE can share progress of the members in the club during an education minute. I know some clubs have an education minute each time they meet where they can talk about different things. Maybe they want to highlight a certain strategy or a certain way to do something, but they can also use this time to go through and talk about who has completed something, who is working on something, and where they're going next. You get the idea. You can also do this on a WhatsApp chat or on your club website. The idea, though, is just to share the progress, because when I hear about what somebody else is doing, that makes me want to be better too, makes me want to achieve and reach higher. So do share. Now, the membership goals, there are 2 membership goals, and it's like I told you before, we want to get a total of at least 8 new members or dual members or reinstating members, but 8 total. So that would be, you get 1 point when you have the first 4, and you get another point when you have the second 4. So who is in charge of this? Well, the Vice President of Membership will help submit the membership applications. They will conduct membership drives like Beat the Clock or the Smedley. They'll also assist in planning open houses, which are a great way to generate interest for your club. They'll encourage the membership to bring in guests, and they will keep track of progress toward those membership goals. They'll kind of have a running tally in their mind of how many members they need and how many leads they have, etc. Now, the treasurer is also helpful here because they're going to be the ones to submit the dues. And then I also want to say all members should be helping to recruit new members. You probably know somebody in your office that might really benefit from coming to Toastmasters and learning public speaking skills. So ask that person. Just because you're not the VPM doesn't mean you can't help. And I'm sure the VPM would sincerely appreciate any help they can get in recruiting new members. So this is a team effort. Now we'll talk about the training goals. Like I said, here you are in training today. This is the Toastmasters Leadership Institute. Each session, we want to have a minimum of 4 club officer roles trained. We've got 2 training periods. One is June through August, and the next is November through February. I think I got those dates right. So as long as you have your officers come to one of those training dates each session, then they'll get the point, or they'll get the half point. You get a half point for each training period. I feel like I really messed this one up. So if you have any questions about it, you can put them in the chat and I can go back over it again later. But it's basically, we have 2 sessions, a half point for each session. You need 4 officers to come to both. And then I just want to say congratulations. If you're here watching this presentation, it means you're probably also attending the Leadership Institute and the specific officer classes. And good for you, because if you've got 4 members or 4 officers from your club doing that today, then you've got your half point. The reason we do this is because good training leads to better leadership of the club. That leads to better clubs, which leads to more positive experiences for the members, which leads to member retention. And this makes the membership levels a lot easier to hold on to. Now, whose job is it to reach this training goal? Well, really, it's probably more the president's and the president's purview. It's the president's job to encourage all the officers to attend, to follow up, and to make sure that they have it on their schedule and to see that they did attend. And if not, encourage them to attend the next one, or the like they mentioned at the beginning of the day today, there are other sessions in January that you can attend if you didn't make it to this one. Finally, we have the administrative goals. So this is a one-time payment of membership dues accompanied by the names of 8 members, at least 3 of whom must be renewing members for 1 period. That gets you a half point. And then you also have to have the on-time submission of the club officer list, and that gets you another half point. So as I said before, this is just kind of the easy baseline thing. Just get this done, get it knocked out, and then you have one of the points toward the Distinguished Club program. The treasurer will submit the dues. That's their responsibility. The secretary will submit the officer list. Now, as I said before, you can do all of those goals. You can get all 10 of those goals met, but if you don't have the qualifying requirement of membership met, you will not be a distinguished club. So you have to either have 20 members total or your base number plus 5. So if you started out at 13, you would need to add 5 and end the year at 18. And then again, you must be a club in good standing. So why do we want to worry about this? Why is this important? This would be something that if you are the person in your club who's explaining the DCP to your members, and especially those new members who may be sitting there like I was, wondering why we have to do this, here's what's in it for the members. Educational growth. When we're following the educational program, we are going to have improved leadership and speaking. And when we're encouraging that, we are making sure that our members are getting it. When we're concerned about membership, we're going to have new ideas and personalities. I always say the best thing about Toastmasters is getting to hear everybody's stories. So let's bring in new people and we can hear new stories. It's exciting. Again, we talked about attrition before. The attrition is offset when we concern ourselves with membership and we have enough members to fulfill the roles. And then the training and administrative excellence is important for each individual member because it gives us a strong, sustainable club. We don't have to worry so much about whether or not our club will survive. If we have strong leadership and administration is taken care of, then we know we're going to be able to continue. Okay, I think I went over this before, but I'll touch on it again. To get the distinguished club, the lowest level, you need at least 5 points. To get the next level up, select distinguished, you need 7 points, and then the president's distinguished, the highest award is 9 points. Now, there are tools that you can use that will help you do this. The club success plan is within the manual for the distinguished club program. I'll go into details about that in a minute. There's also a dashboard for reports at toastmasters.org, and I'll tell you exactly how to get to that in just a moment as well. So the club success plan, this is a planning document for defining the goals of the club. So of course you have the goals as set forth by the Distinguished Club program, but now you're going to work on the strategy for how you're going to get them. To do this, you'll get the manual and you'll use that as a template, and the executive committee will work together on the first section. The first section, you'll want to sit and brainstorm together about who's going to do what and how you're going to take care of some of these tasks. But then you'll also probably work separately. And the VPE might look at the education section. Maybe they'll have a helper to join them. The VPM has their section on membership. Maybe they'll have another person to help them as well. But there are different sections, and within each section, there's a situation analysis. So you have a moment to think about your club and what's going on right now and to analyze the situation. And then they give you spaces to fill out your action plan. So that's, in a nutshell, how you do the club success plan. You know, it'd be great to probably have another session at some point where we go through that in more detail, but that's not really our focus today. But this is just an overview. Then for the dashboard, as I said, is the place on toastmasters.org where you can go to get your reports. So once this slide is completely finished, you may want to take a screenshot of it if you're not sure how to get there, but here's how you do it. You go to toastmasters.org, and then from there, you'll go to Leadership Central. After clicking on Leadership Central, you're going to go to Club Officer Tools, and then it will list a long list of tools for you. You want to click on the Distinguished Performance Reports. And from there, there's going to be a long list of all the regions of Toastmasters International. We are in Region 8, and underneath Region 8, you want to choose District 47. Within District 47, you'll look at all the different divisions. We are Division E, and then you choose your club. Okay, it's not difficult. It's just a matter of knowing where to go. So what I want to do now is show you what the Distinguished Club Program report looks like. This is the report from Doral Toastmasters. I think they're in Area 51. You can see that they are having just a tremendous year. They're probably going to get another point here today. I'm guessing that they probably have 4 officers lined up to attend. And at that point, they'll have their 9 points for the President's Distinguished Club goal. But let's move on and look at their membership. First, let's just look at this page. The far left column here, this is club alignment, and this just gives you the demographic information, what region we're in, the district, division, area, okay? Now the middle column is all about membership, and see, as I said before, what's required is 20 members, and their required membership is 20 because they already had a base of 24. So they're in great shape. Right now they have 23 members, but as I said, they've met the threshold, so they're fine. And then over here, this third column will tell you about the goals that you've met. So this club has met 8 goals. So they're somewhere between select and President's Distinguished. All right, I want to show you another club. This is Cutler Bay Toastmasters, and I'm showing you this because I want to show you that about the base number plus 5. They have to have 18 members by the end of the year, and I'm sure they're going to do it. They are bringing in new members every time they meet. They're headed for distinction for sure. But they started out on July 1st with 13 members. They're already up to 15. So 13 plus 5 is the 18. So that's how we get to this number here, the 18. And I know they're going to get there. Let's look at their goals. So far, they've met 4 goals. That's great. They're on their way. They're on their way to distinguished. Probably after today, they're going to have that other point for training. And they'll at least have distinguished. Now they still have some time. They've got another 6 months to get all the way up to president's distinguished. So if your club is in the same situation, I just want to encourage you. It's still possible to get all the way to president's distinguished. Okay, as I promised, I want to go back and go through these goals a little more individually. So with the education goals, as I said, you don't have to complete level 1 before you can get level 6. You can get any of those points. If you've got someone who's ready to get their DTM award, you turn it in and they get it done, you get the point. And someone else might be working on a level 1. You get 4 level 1s turned in, you get the point for it. I'm sorry, I must have a drink. So as you can see, this club just needs 1 more level 2 award, and then they'll have a complete column of checks for educational awards. Membership awards, you need 4 new members. This first column here shows the goal. The second column here shows what the club has done. And they've already had 4 new members and another 4 new members. For training, club officers trained in the June through August time period. The goal was 4, they had 5. Again, the goal for this time, November through February, is 4. I'm assuming that today they're going to also be able to fill this in with either 4 or more and get their half point. And then finally, the administration goals. The Y just stands for yes. Did they turn their membership renewal dues in on time? And did the club officer list get turned in on time? Yes to both of those. So they got their half point each and a check mark there. All right, so once again, this is what it will look like when you are on the report screen. I just wanted to show you one more time. I want to remind you also that District 47 has issued a goal for all the clubs in the district, and that is for each club to submit at least 5 DCP goals by December 31st, 2021. So today is the 11th. We've got, what's that, a little more than 2 weeks. So let's see what we can get done between now and then. Now that you all, not just the seasoned Toastmasters, but now that everyone in the room has a better idea what the Distinguished Club program is all about, let's see if we can get this done and make our district proud. Okay, I think I just wanted to put this up again one more time so someone could, oops, sorry, take a screenshot of it if you want it. This is how to get to the report. We can also share it in the chat. All right, so as officers, I hope that you will be good leaders of your club, like my mentor, Dawn Tungate, was. You know, Leo talked earlier about leaders and how we are better leaders when we bring everyone in. I'm sure it would have been really easy for my mentor, Dawn, to say, I can do this. I've been a district director myself. I know how to do this. I don't need these other people to slow me down. I'm going to get this job done. But he wasn't an I, me kind of person. He was a we're going to do this together. He was a teamwork kind of person. And had he been an I, me person, he would have been robbing the rest of us the opportunity to learn and to grow in our own leadership skills. So I hope that you'll be that kind of leader as well. And that, remember also, you may have some baby Toastmasters in your club. You may be speaking about the DCP program and they may kind of roll their eyes and take a deep sigh and think, why do we have to talk about this? And like Leonardo said, give them some time. They may not be ready to hear this right now, but circle back, give them about 6 months, and maybe they'll have matured to the point where then they are able to hear it and they are able to be helpful. Give them time to grow. And one thing I forgot to mention in my earlier story was that back in 2014, when I first started Toastmasters and Don was sharing about the DCP program, we didn't have all this fancy technology. He couldn't just like pull up a PowerPoint or use a projector to show us what was going on. He had to scribble everything on a whiteboard. So if you are a leader and you're sharing this with your club, make use of all this glorious technology that we have, and you can use that to make it interesting and to motivate people. So in conclusion, I just want to wish everyone the best of luck. You can feel free to utilize me in my capacity as the Assistant Division E Director in charge of program quality to help you reach your DCP goals. And remember, we're striving for 5 by December 31st. And I wish you all the best. And I'm here to answer questions.
Thank you very much, Sandy, for that excellent presentation. I know the DCP goal system can seem like some weird, cryptic black box thing out there that was hard to understand, but I think you brought us a lot of clarity. So thank you for that. And this is an opportunity now for our members in attendance to go ahead and ask their questions. I know you have them out there. So go ahead and type them into the chat. There was actually a couple of things. There's our first questions come in. Let's see, how can our club gain the level 2 award? Club PIL gain the level 2 award. Not sure what that means.
The level 2 award, is that you're talking about level 2 educational award or the membership?
I would have to ask the member to clarify that question.
Okay.
Let's see.
If it's the
Wanted the screenshot of the steps to get to
okay,
to see the report.
I'm going to reshare, get back to that. Okay. There. Okay. As far as the level 2 educational award, you just need, what was it, 2 Toastmasters to reach that educational award. They need to have progressed past level 1, do all the stuff for level 2, submit the completion, and then you'll have the award. We can go back to that. Has everyone got the screenshot? Doug, could you maybe take a screenshot of that and post it in the chat? Is that possible?
Possible. Please. Let's see if I'll have to work on it here a little bit.
Okay.
I got it. I can post it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Deandra.
So let's go back. Let's look at this level 2 award, all pathways education. Oh, I can't see that because that thing is in the way. Oh, I just remembered I don't have, I don't know where that slide went. That is the weirdest thing. The slide that I had that explained about the educational goals. No, there it is. I don't know what happened. This is weird. But yeah, you just need 2 level 2 awards. So 2 people need to finish their level 2 awards. And then you can get 2 more. So you can have a total of 4 people finishing their level 2 awards. Okay. So I hope that explains it.
He said thank you in the chat. So
Okay. Okay.
and for those of you who are trying to get a screenshot, Division Director Deandra Dorsett has placed the dashboard report image in the chat, along with the educational awards screenshot in the chat. So just go in the chat and download them, and you'll be good to go. What other questions do you have? This is your opportunity. Don't miss it to ask all the questions you were afraid to ask about DCP and educational goals. This is your opportunity. Don't walk out of this meeting with a question in your back pocket. It's not going to do you any good. Ask it now. Oh, another question is, how do I become a distinguished Toastmaster?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a little bit beyond the scope of what I'm prepared to talk about today. But who is asking that question? I'm going to try to get to that in the chat.
The question was asked by, forgive me if I mispronounce it, Toastmaster Zainab.
Zainab. Okay.
I apologize.
Zainab, I tell you what, let me put my email address in the chat and we can get together and discuss that. But, or, you know, if somebody else wants to jump in, who's prepared. I mean, I'm much more familiar with how to do it in the legacy program and not having done it myself in the Pathways program, I'm not where I need to be. Oh, good. Deandra just posted in the chat the DTM requirements.
Okay, great. That's our dynamic Division D director, quick with pasting into the chat. Thank you, Deandra.
Okay, so it says complete 2 learning paths, serve as a club officer for 12 months, participate in the preparation of a club success program or club success plan. So that's one of the things I was talking about today. Participate in a district sponsored club officer training program. You're doing that today. Serve a complete 1-year term as a district officer. Serve successfully as a club mentor or coach, serve successfully as a club sponsor or conduct a speech craft or youth leadership program, complete the DTM project. So you'll have your own little project that you outline and design. All right, and then there's the website. So it's similar to what I went through. Any other questions? I finished early today. I was expecting it to take about 40 minutes, but must have zoomed through. So.
Okay, last call for questions. Last call for questions. If we get no questions in the next minute, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Oh, we do have a question. Do you have to do all those things to be a DTM?
Yeah, there are no exceptions. You have to. But you know what? The great thing about Toastmasters is it's all a learning experience, and you have so many resources, whether on toastmasters.org or the manuals that they give you, or just, you know, the support of the other members in your club. I would say go for it. It's not difficult. It's just a challenge, and you can definitely do it. How often do you recommend reviewing the club success plan with your clubs and officers? That's a great question, Lois. I would suggest that when the executive committee meets once a month, that they go ahead and review it then. That way you're on top of it. You know, inside the club success plan, you've written down exactly your action plan for how you're going to do this. For example, with the educational goals, it might be, well, I know that Douglas is at level 1 and he'll be finishing that. So once he's finished, we'll have him to give us one of the 4 level 1 plan or level 1 educational goals for the goal. So what I would do then as the VPE is go talk to Douglas and say, hey, we noticed that you are here in the program and we need you to finish, or maybe I wouldn't say we need you to finish, but, you know, encourage him, say, how are you doing? How close do you think you are? Or, you know, when will you be able to give your next speech? I would love to put you on the agenda. How can I help you? So reviewing your club success plan frequently as an executive committee will only be good for you and help you get those goals taken care of and make your club stronger. I mean, that's really the bottom line. We're not, I wish I'd mentioned this. I wish I had taken time to say this in the program. We're not doing the distinguished club program so we can check off the boxes. It's not about that at all. It's about doing these things so that our club is stronger. Last night I had the idea, it's kind of like the 10 Commandments. we have our 10 goals, and they're not meant to be punishing. They're not meant to be necessarily restrictive. It's meant to kind of provide a guide or a plan for us to kind of live our lives as Toastmasters and be successful. That's the way I think about it.
There was a question in the chat, is there an application form to be completed for the DTM? The answer, I believe, is yes. And that link, if you follow the link provided earlier, you'll get that information as well.
Yeah, there's definitely paperwork. And then Andrew Burns said goal, then strategy, then tactics. So yes. I guess the tactics would be the individual actions that you're going to take to reach to implement the strategy and then reach the goal.
Does anyone have any questions regarding the content of the presentation today? Putting in your DCP points, getting your educational goals. Is anyone inspired to go off after this session and go ahead and fill those in because you haven't got around to it yet?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We do have a request. It looks like, let's see, in the chat, we did have a request from Juan to invite the speaker as a guest speaker. So
Oh, okay.
in the chat, it looks like you have a request to be a guest speaker.
Absolutely. Who is asking? I can write it down.
It was Juan Olea, O-L-E-A. If you look in the chat, you'll see him. He just
Okay. Juan, I let me put my email address in again, but I'd be happy to come and speak to your club about the DCP program. That's a great idea.
There was a question about DCP goals. Do you have to put in the DCP goals for membership and training, et cetera? And that came from Kevin Ogden.
Kevin, are you talking about in the club success plan, or it's not really the same as the educational goals. It's just that as you upload the new members into Toastmasters.org, that's what tracks it. They'll keep that tally there. And then also with the training, the division or the district will keep track of who came to training, and it will get uploaded to Toastmasters.org, and they will keep track of it there, and that's how they know if that goal has been reached.
Okay. I've just put the evaluation link in. So let's take this moment to thank Sandy for a great presentation. Please go ahead and acknowledge with emoticons and other things in your chat to let her know how much wonderful she was, and in the chat box itself. District 47 and its members appreciate your time and service, Sandy. We greatly appreciate you taking this time. I pasted the Google evaluation link in the chat window. Please go ahead and finish that within the next 24 hours so we can get feedback on this presentation. One thing I've already taken away is, I guess at the next TLI, we should have a session on how to become a DTM.
Yeah.
D and E appreciate the fact that you took the time to attend this main room presentation. In the chat are the links to the officer training sessions beginning at noon. Please click on the link for your session. And that concludes this session, unless Sandy, you have any final words for our members.
No, I'm finished, but thank you so much, Douglas, and thank you all for joining in. And like I said, feel free to use me as a resource. If I don't have the answer, I'm really good at the research, so I'm happy to help with that. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, and I'll offer the floor to either of our division directors if they wish to have anything they want to say before we conclude the session.
We would just like to remind everyone to complete the registration form, and don't forget to join your officers session. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah.
And thank you to Sandy. Sorry, I muted and was still talking.
My pleasure, Tiffany. Since I finished early, do we have some fun music we could listen to?
Yes, we're going to put that on right now. Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you very much. I'll be back in time for the next session.
trying my bestest, and nothing gonna stop me but divine intervention. Again, my turn to win some on learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait, I'm sure. Hey, yeah, yeah. Well, open up your mind, see like me. Open up the plan to tame your free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the mama, people dance and sing. We're just one big family. It is so God forsake a right to be loved. Love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate our time. It's sure this is a feat. I'm sure do you want to come? Said to a closer there. In your ear. Ba 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 ba. I've been spending way too long taking my tongue in the mirror, bending over backward just to try to see the clearer. But my breath all color collides into a dream you fast a lie. I guess what I'll be singing is the ready for the reason to read yourself and find it needed just to give a season is what we enter to. Oh, an enemy cipher too, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait, I'm sure. Well, open up your mind, see like me. Open up the plan to tame your free. Look into your heart and you'll find. 'Cause sign shows. Don't please, don't please, don't please, don't. 'Cause I need to time the place. 'Cause I'm shy. This is okay, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, oh, I'm yours. Oh, I'm yours. Oh, baby, 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 I'm yours. Like a baby, 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 I'm yours. I'm sure.
It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you never leave. touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Oh, all day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you drown out a crowd. Try as they may, they can never define what's been said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Smile on your face, the truth in your eyes, the touch of your hand lets me know that you need me. You say it best when you say nothing at all. You're my mirror staring back at me, onto something, an original.